40 weeks. God, that's so scary. I'm not seeing it as a due date. I don't expect baby to come on due date. I feel a lot more relaxed than I was with Archie. I was desperate for Archie to come. The last video I did, I must have been 36 weeks. I think we'd had a growth scan, or we were due a growth scan. Everything was fine anyway. They sort of said baby is a little bit small, but they're growing in proportion and they're okay. So we had another one scheduled for when I was 39 weeks, which was a few days ago. It was a weird appointment because my bump was measuring behind again at my midwife appointment a few days before. So she was glad that we were being seen anyway, and she sort of questioned my home birth and said that if I went into labour before the growth scan, they probably would send me to hospital. So we went to the growth scan and the consultant saying everything was fine, but then she was also saying, oh, but I want you to come back in a few days to be monitored and I want to check the fluid. The whole thing was really confusing. So I really wanted to speak to my midwife as well to sort of clear things up, because she has a good way of breaking everything down and telling me how it actually is. So we both left really confused from that appointment. We went in yesterday and thankfully everything was great. We were monitored for quite a while. They even checked for contractions, and I am having regular tightenings. I keep saying to everyone that I've never had Braxton Hicks. Never had Braxton Hicks with Archie. Haven't had Braxton Hicks with this one. When I could see it happening on the monitor, my stomach was tightening. I am having Braxton Hicks. I thought it was baby. I thought it was baby just sort of balling up, or I don't know, but it is tightening. And then I continued to have them all day yesterday, quite regularly, but not pain, just tightening. It's nice that things are sort of happening this time, because with Archie I had no signs whatsoever. Nothing happened up until I had my sweet. But we've had a massive spanner thrown into the works. Archie caught chickenpox. I hate, like, it's not his fault, of course it's not his fault. But I just think, seriously, all the years you could get chickenpox, he gets chickenpox bang on when I'm due a baby. So the good thing is that I was tested earlier on in the pregnancy and I'm immune. So as long as baby stays in, baby's safe. If baby comes, then baby may not be safe. The good thing is now he's had it for about 12 days, so most of the spots are healing, but he had a few on his back, I noticed yesterday, that were pussy and looked infected. So of course I googled it, because that's what everyone does. And it said it can be quite serious, and I was worried he was going to get really ill, and I was worried he was still contagious, because I was just starting to stop worrying about it. Now he's getting over it. But he went to the doctor this morning. Apparently they're not infected, they're just a few nasty ones that are going to take a little while to heal. I asked if baby would be safe if they came around him, and no one really gives you a definitive answer. I mean, they said it's not ideal, but just mention it to your obstetrician or your midwife when you have the baby and see what they say. Honestly, it has been upsetting me a bit that I have that to worry about. It doesn't help me to feel relaxed, and that's how I want to feel. It's not the end of the world. I mean, hopefully they clear up. You know, it's just not what you want when you're just about to have a baby. Everything else is kind of ready now. Last video, and probably the video before, I said how I don't think we're going to be ready at all for the baby. So this last weekend was Mr. J's birthday, and bless him, we pretty much spent the whole weekend clearing the house and getting all the little jobs done that we want done before baby comes. We put the pram up, we finally got the pram, so we're reviewing a Casato Giggle 2 for Win Stanley's Pram World, which is amazing. I've got a post of my first impressions on the blog if you want to check it out. I'll put it in the description below. But it's gorgeous, and not only is it gorgeous, it works really well. It's so easy to put up, and obviously being massive at the moment, that I was worried about lifting it around because I've been using it with Archie. So that's all together, except we were hoping to get an Easy X rider for the pram, which is like a buggy board, but it's got a little seat on it. He can be a bit naughty sometimes, so I'm kind of worried that he will get bored of standing on the board and he'll run off and I'll have a pram here and a runaway toddler, and I just won't know what to do. So for the whole pregnancy, I really wanted a co-sleeper. He comes in our room probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 nights a week at least. And that doesn't bother me. I don't mind him coming in the night, and he sleeps in between me and Mr. J. But I know that when I had him as a newborn, he slept in, because I was breastfeeding, we pretty much co-slept. And I am concerned about having a newborn in our bed when Archie is in the bed too, because he doesn't care where he flails his limbs and he doesn't consider who else is in the bed. And obviously it's just like extending the bed, so I can be with the baby this side, Archie can still sleep in with Mr. J the other side, because I really don't want to have to kick him out of bed, and I don't want him to feel kicked out in any way, especially with the baby coming. The last few days something's happened, and just the lovely people around me have made it possible. So we've got Arsena's Spot coming today, and I'm so excited because it looks amazing, and it's just like the last piece of the puzzle. Once I see that up next to the bed, I think I'll just feel like so much more relaxed. I've bought a birthing pool for my home birth. The hospital, the midwife who I spoke to at the hospital after all the tests was great. She actually went to the consultant and got it signed off to say that I can have a home birth, so I feel so much better about that now as well. I'm just really chuffed that everything was okay with baby. Yeah, so everything has sort of fallen into place this last weekend, which is lovely. It's just the concerns around Archie, and whether he is safe to be around the baby. Yeah, that's my 40-week update. I'm not 40 weeks until tomorrow, but I've got midwife in the morning and stuff, so I probably won't be able to video. Last but not least, this is the last time we'll be doing one of these. So here is my 40-week bump. I personally don't feel like I've grown that much since probably about 32, 34 weeks. I feel like I got really big, but then it's kind of steadied out, because I was getting, oh my god, you're so big, and now it seems to be, oh, you have such a tiny little bump. I'm getting a lot of tightenings, still a lot of movement from baby. They are engaged, head's really low, back's around here, and legs are over here, which is where I feel so many feet and knees and pokey outy bits, and it's really weird. It's amazing to think soon this little bump will be gone and there'll be a little baby in place. So I plan to do my 40-week bump shots tomorrow, if I get to tomorrow. So yeah, I guess next time I see you, there'll be a little baby too. Yeah, thank you for keeping up with all my pregnancy updates. It's been really lovely to share, and I can't wait to be able to look back on these, because I don't really have a lot with Archie. And yeah, remember what it was like, because I don't know if this will be my last, but it's a possibility. I think it's a boy. I'm so sure it's a boy. We all think it's a boy, but obviously we don't know, it might not be. And so stay tuned and you'll find out shortly.